The Salt Lady. Many centuries ago, there lived a woman of rare beauty known as the Salt Lady. She had a unique gift of producing salt simply by rubbing her hands. This magical ability made her a figure of wonder and desire. Many suitors came to seek her hand, knowing that marrying her would bring prosperity. But the Salt Lady was wise. She married a warrior from a distant land, despite the warnings and disapproval of her family. Together, they lived happily and prospered. The village folks envied the Salt Lady and her husband's happiness and prosperity. They secretly conspired to create mistrust between the couples. Even her husband's close friends who shamelessly sought their help. Despite this, the couple's love only grew stronger. When a child was born, their joy increased and they continued to show kindness to the villagers, unaware of the schemes being plotted against them. Years passed, and one day, the Salt Lady's husband and his friends went to gather weeds in the fields. As they worked, the friends, still plotting against the couple, made a cruel pact. Today, when we return home, every one of us shall physically abuse our wives. Whoever fails will pay a fine, and besides being considered a coward, shall be excluded from the men's group. All the men agreed except the Salt Lady's husband. He protested and said, "You are all crazy. Why would you interfere in another man's family?" But his protests were ignored. They told him, "Do it or be off from our group. As a code of group honor, you either follow it or seek friendship elsewhere." He saw no other way out. Leaving the group meant enduring constant mockery. His heart ached, for he could never hurt his loving wife. That evening, the men returned from the field, pleased with their plan to trap the Salt Lady's husband. They proudly told their wives how they had succeeded. After dinner, each wife pretended to cry, while their husbands banged on the bamboo walls with canes, pretending to beat them. When the Salt Lady's husband heard the cries, he grew uneasy. "What disturbs you tonight, my dear?" she asked in her tender voice. He remained silent and reluctantly stepped out to bring in a cane. With great hesitation, he began to beat his wife. She cried out, begging him to stop, while their child clung to him, pleading for mercy. But he ignored them and continued to strike her. A deep sadness filled her as she could not understand the sudden cruelty. He was filled with remorse, yet his pride kept him from asking for forgiveness. She thought, "I have given him everything, loved him with all my heart. What have I done to deserve this? Has he grown tired of me?" The next morning, before dawn, she woke early, went to the pan and chose the best chicken, one that was ready to lay eggs. She prepared the meal, her heart heavy. Despite her love and devotion, he treated her cruelly. I will go to my father's house, she decided. After packing for her journey, she gently woke her husband and said, I do not understand what came over you, but you were very cruel last night. Still, I have prepared a meal for you. Eat your meal and get ready. It's getting late for the field. He thought she had forgiven him, but she replied, I am leaving with the child for my parents' home. His world shattered, and he begged for her forgiveness, explaining the plot with his friends. You should have told me, she said tearfully. Next time, they might plot something worse and you might even kill me. I am sorry, please forgive me. It won't happen again, he pleaded. But she remained firm. As she left, he followed, begging her to stay, but she insisted. Nothing will change my mind. Go home before you see me leave, where you cannot follow. Her parents lived across the waters. As evening turned to night, they reached the riverbank. She lit the bamboo straws she had prepared earlier and stepped onto the water. Miraculously, the waters parted, and holding the torch, she walked on dry ground, the walls of the water towering on each side. Her husband tried to follow, but the water rushed back, preventing him. He watched her torch flicker in the distance, and remorse filled his heart. In his sorrow, he began to play a bamboo flute, a tune filled with deep sadness. The haunting melody seemed to whisper, Farewell, my beloved. Farewell, my love. I will always love you. Take care of our child. The mournful song echoed across the waters and mountains. The Salt Lady's husband returned home, helpless and shattered by grief. Soon after, the unbearable weight of his heartbreak became too much to bear, and he passed away.